This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network, and we are a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, which is being held virtually this year. Joining me right now is Marshall Koval. He is the CEO of Lumina Group. It's actually a collection of two companies, Lumina Gold, which is publicly traded, the symbol is LUM on the TSX Venture, and Luminex Resources, also publicly traded on the TSX Venture under the symbol LR. Marshall, thank you for joining me today. How you doing?
Hey, Robert. Great for having us virtually, I guess. I kind of missed the mountain air up there at Beaver Creek.
All right, we're doing a virtual high five. Let's do a little. Here we go. There it is.
There we got it.
Nice. All right, Marshall. So again, thanks for joining us. And let's start with a very quick overview and history of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so the Lumina Group itself was founded by Ross Beatty sort of in 2002, 2003. Initially, it was a copper-focused group. And the business strategy has been to add value, de-risk, and exit large projects and move them on to somebody that would build them. So we had a lot of success in the copper space. We raised about 175 million US and returned about 1.6 billion to shareholders over a period of time. And then we started into the gold space in 2014 with Lumina Gold, and we were the second largest concession holder in Ecuador, sort of 2016, 2017. We spun out all of our assets with the exception of our flagship Cangrejos project, which is in Lumina Gold, into the company Luminex. And basically, we're getting Lumina Gold ready to move down the same exit path that we looked at with Lumina Copper. Luminex is more an earlier stage exploration sort of development story. We have JVs with BHP, with Anglo American on some of our copper assets, and we're advancing the Condor project ourselves, which has about 5 million ounces of gold. So Cangrejos is what I think I'd like to focus on here in Lumina Gold. It's a very large gold deposit, the largest primary gold deposit in Ecuador. 17 million ounce resource we finished last November. And we just completed a PEA study that has a 1.6 billion NPV at a 5% discount rate using $1,400 gold. So we're excited to come to Beaver Creek with this new info from the PEA.
Very good. Well, that's actually a perfect segue into my next question, because we actually last did an interview at Precious Metals last year at the 2019 event. So I'd love to get an update. What would you say are some corporate highlights of the last 12 months or so?
So the big deal for us was to really understand from our 2018 PEA what the contributions of the Gran Bestia deposit was to the overall Cangrejos project. So about, if you look at it, a lot of the drilling at Cangrejos was done to indicated. So we were on the track to do a PFS. Then we made a significant discovery at Gran Bestia. And that allowed us to go back and understand what the implications were of Gran Bestia to the overall project. So we elected to update a PEA instead of moving to a PFS, as we hadn't drilled the entire deposit to indicate it. So that really gave us the scope of the project. It's got a long mine life, 25 years. As far as by resource size, it's the 37th largest primary gold asset in the world in all stages, exploration, development, operations, and it's the 14th largest primary gold development project that hasn't been put into production yet today. So those are the key things to kind of point out since last year.
Got it. And just real briefly, and I believe we talked about this last year, but it doesn't hurt to rehash this question. What would you say makes the company unique and different compared to your peers?
I think we're really well financed. I mean, we're backed by Ross Beatty. Ross has 19.9% of the company. Management owns roughly 10%. We have some funds in the company that are around 7-8%, and then we have an Ecuadorian investor group. So we're really aligned with the local market, with the ability to raise money and execute and advance projects. And I think coming into Lumina Gold with a real clear business strategy, which is to de-risk these projects and then exit. I mean, the initial capital cost at 40,000 ton per day operation, which is more on the scale of a copper project than your average gold deposit, it's about $1 billion in capital. And then in year 5, we would ramp it up to another 80,000, up to 80,000 tons per day. And that'll take another $400 and some million. So really, this is the type of project that a major company or a mid-tier, a good solid mid-tier should produce. So we know where our lane is, and that's where we would look to exit.
And then from what you can tell us, what would you say then are some of the company's value catalysts for the rest of this year going into 2021?
So basically, if you look at the market right now, Ecuador developers are trading at a pretty significant discount to Western peers. So basically, you got about 0.6 PNAV ratio that you're seeing for a lot of the Western peers, and a lot of the Ecuador developers are trading about 0.35. So as Ecuador continues to emerge as a good jurisdiction, at the end of 2019, Fruta del Norte and Mirador were put into production, and that kind of showed you could permit, finance internationally, construct, and operate projects of this scale in Ecuador. That should help things. But I think the real thing where the value proposition for Lumina Gold is for us is we've increased since January 2017 the resource at the Cangrejos project 4-fold, yet our gold is up like 68% in that time period, and our stock is up, roughly tracking gold at this stage. So we're not getting the benefit of the upside yet of the 4-fold increase in our resource estimate.
And with that, where can my audience go and find everything they need to know about the Lumina Group?
LuminaGold.com and LuminexResources.com. Everything's on there, presentations a whole bit, and call Scott Hicks if you need more information. He's our VP of Corporate Development.
Very good. Well, Marshall, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I look forward to our next update.
Yeah, Robert, hopefully that'll be in person. So take care of yourself, bud.
Hopefully. Again, my name is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network. And we're the proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek being held virtually this year. Marshall will be there doing a presentation on Lumina Group. And thank you all for listening today.